Hi, everybody. It's Maria from What's the Story with Maria. How's it going? Oh my God. Magically, she has appeared as she always does first. D Enlightened Edits, our wonderful, beautiful friend Danielle has joined us. Danielle is a spiritual medium. She is a healer. She is a teacher. She is a spiritual coach. Man, you want to check out Danielle's website. Leo will put that up momentarily. I cannot say enough about Danielle. And I actually got to see her this week. I was so happy. She came to Brandy. She had gone to a show at 54 Below. She went to see Lorna Luft, who is a friend of hers. And she and the three of her friends came to Brandy's. And it was so nice to see her. So Danielle, what a sweet visit that was. Thank you so much. And I cannot say enough about Danielle. And I don't say this for any other reason other than it was wonderful. And it really was life-changing in the best way. I had a session with Danielle. My session was called a quantum session, which I cannot tell you how worth it this is and wonderful for just shifting things in your aura. But I recommend you go to Danielle's website, which is damcldesigns.com. If you're someone that is interested in talking to the other side, I know this sounds crazy to a lot of people, but it's not crazy to me at all. And most of my friends are really love this stuff. If you have someone that's passed on that you want to talk to or see if they're, see if people are in your orbit, it's really mind-blowing. What do you want to say?
How would you know where those noises in your kitchen are coming from if you didn't get a chance to talk to
Thank you, Danielle. Well, I don't know if I'm supposed to disclose too much information, but my grandmother, my Nonna Libruccia, who was 101 when she passed, and I have pictures of her everywhere, was a practical joker. I never told Danielle any of this. She just knew it. And she said that the noises, when there are noises in my apartment, it's my grandma trying to be funny, which I completely believe because she was a total practical joker.
She was the feisty one, right?
She was the feisty one. She was always trying to scare my grandpa. My poor grandpa was always doing this. She always was literally sneaking. Do you know what she did one time? What my grandmother did one time? She was bad. She dressed in his clothes. She dressed as a man. She put a hat on and a big jacket. And she grabbed a banana and she went outside through the back door and then came in through the front door, rang the bell. My poor grandfather was like, somebody get the door. And nobody was getting it. So he got up to get the door and it was her at the door, dressed as a guy. She goes, stick him up. Stick him up with the banana. And it scared the bejesus out of him. And she thought it was the funniest thing in the world. She was a total practical joker. Anyway, that's Danielle, funny. I just was great to see you. We love Danielle. I so appreciate you, and I really appreciate your Carpenters medley too. Oh, I did a little Carpenters song for Danielle because she loves the Carpenters, as do I. She reminded me this week that it was the 40th anniversary of Karen Carpenter's passing. The greatest female vocalist, in my opinion, of all time. Michael Isaacs actually always says to me he would like that to be the last voice he hears. If he was sick or something, he'd just play Karen Carpenter.
It's yesterday once more. Her voice was so rich.
And little did people know that she was an amazing jazz drummer. You want to YouTube something that'll blow your mind?
Oh, I've seen it.
Wow.
Oh my goodness. And
what?
Carpenter leading to Bacharach, going backwards in the alphabet. Burt Bacharach, one of our greatest songwriters.
That's why I did Close to You for Danielle, because it covered the Carpenters and it covered Burt Bacharach. First of all, I didn't even talk about Burt Bacharach. Thank you for reminding me, because this week was so busy.
Soundtrack of our lives.
Soundtrack of our lives. How do you, I can't even, there's so many amazing Burt Bacharach songs and medleys, and it's his chord progressions. Right. And, just so beautiful. There's a song that he wrote with Elvis Costello that's called, something about God. Hold on, I'll think of it in a minute. Not in God We Trust. It was,
94 was his age.
For God's Sake or something like that. I'll think of it. It is so haunting. Elvis Costello, the way he does it is amazing, but there's a woman that does it. It's even more haunting. John John Bronson posted it on his wall. Something Burt Bacharach and Elvis Costello wrote it. For the love of God, something, I'll think of it in a
I'll
minute.
look
But
it up further.
it's one of the most haunting. And this woman, oh my God, the melody line, because that's what is ridiculous. It's ridiculous and haunting and beautiful, and his chord changes. So for people like me, Leo, you're much younger than me, but you're an old soul.
But I mean,
Music,
his music keeps playing throughout growing up. We're only 7 years apart.
no,
Yes, we are.
Leo, we're not. We're not.
We
We're
are.
not.
We're only 7 because you just turned, and I'm 53.
Oh, you
So
are?
I am, girl.
Oh, I
Please.
didn't think you were 50 yet,
Oh
honey.
yeah, I'm. Oh,
You're
please.
so youthful.
Thank you. Luckily, it's
Wow.
because I've listening to Burt Bacharach music.
Yeah.
Thank you.
We love Burt Bacharach. Oh
A
my
house is not a
God.
home. A
Oh,
house is
Jesus.
not a home. One of my former waitresses at Ellen's Diner, Cat, she can sing. She can stop the restaurant
I believe it.
singing that song because she does it so well, so beautiful. And what promises, another great, like all these things that he built up that are soundtrack that you never think of nowadays.
Yeah.
Kids, please go listen to music,
I
study music
know.
history.
I know.
Raindrops
Now let's
falling
just
on
check
my
in.
head.
There's so much to talk about tonight. Oh my God. So Danielle said, and with Hal David too.
Yep.
Yes, absolutely, 100%. So Ed Kutu, my sweetheart from high school, my buddy, Ed Kutu, hello and happy Valentine's Day. Yes, Eddie, you guys must have been so busy at Blade Salon today in Rocky Hill, Connecticut. Eddie runs Blade Salon. I bet. And you want to check out a great Instagram. Their Instagram is amazing. They have the most beautiful pictures. So Eddie's salon is Blade Salon in Rock Hill, Connecticut. My sister's salon, which she's also on Instagram and Facebook, is European Flair. And that is in Concord, Massachusetts. So check that out. And if you're in the Concord area, go get your hair did with my sister. If you're in the Connecticut area, go get your hair did with Ed Kutu, my buddy.
What about
And
your
I post.
Savino girls?
Thank you. Gina and Joyce Savino.
There have been no Christmas presents for you, lady.
No, listen, I just sent them a calendar. They loved it. They are at 132 Ferry Street, Everett, Massachusetts, and their salon is Joyce's Unisex Salon.
That calendar.
I guess I come from a family. Oh, yes. Manny Soto. Well, I call him Manny, and his mom calls him Manny. Had Manuel Soto.
Unless he's in trouble, I bet.
He did text me and remind me that it was February. He goes, it's February. I said, I know, Manny. He wanted to remind us. Now, look at the art direction on this. Got the little teddy bear in the back.
I love that.
I like the way he was caught baking. Naked.
It's so cold out here, though, Maria. It's snowing outside my window. We have a new setup. You can't see it now. It's snowing. It's like it's November here. I mean, really, it is.
Mr. and Mrs. November, who are going to join us in a few minutes. Yes, that is who we have on for Valentine's Day. And it's going to be a great show. I'm so excited. Let's say hello to more of our friends. So Rena Cugnali-Bergi, who is my cousin, who I love so much. I love when you say that. Weather girl. She is with her beautiful husband, who we love, who was Mr. February last year, Ron Berge.
Oh yeah. Wait a minute, Mr. Postman.
Yes, he was our postman. He originated the role of Mr. February. That's all I'm going to say. And then all my cousins wanted to jump on. This year, Mr. October is my cousin Jerry. Oh, there's Mario.
Hey, Mario.
He was Mr. June last year.
Mm-hmm.
And oh my God, I should have sent you this picture. Maybe I can still send it to you. So Mario is up behind the bar at Ethel's, which is a club around the corner from Brandy's. It's like Go-Go Girls. It's amazing. They have like burgers and all kinds of like trashy food. And then they have Go-Go Girls dancing on the bar and Go-Go Boys. But they love my bolognese over there. So they come over sometimes to order bolognese. So Elliot Roth went over there after our shift, and they had my bolognese, which they had all heated up, and they were toasting. They were toasting to the bolognese with the bolognese up in the air. I'm going to send you the picture because you're not going to believe it. Was hysterical.
I feel that we should reminisce a little bit with the commercial about your bolognese.
If you want to, I mean,
I
go
mean,
for it.
I don't have
But
to,
Mario is also behind the bar. A picture of Mario is Mr. June at Ethel's. That's all I'm going to say.
uh,
Wow. Look at this sauce here. I mean, it looks good. The ingredients look good. Everything looks good. The container looks good. Everything looks really nice. But, I don't know. Is it any good?
Is it any good? A fucking face is on it.
Mario and Nate look
Excuse me.
scary.
That will never, ever get old. Now, we need to really, Mario, I'm talking
Really?
to you. We need to do the next version, which I think should be done with Elliot, which is the spicy sausage. Mario has it all planned for the spicy sausage. But if there's a way, I'm gonna try to text you the picture of them toasting with the bolognese at Ethel's.
I gotta see
All right.
that.
Oh my God, it's hysterical. So let me see who else we got. We got Diane Cairns Connolly, who was my beautiful friend. Actually, she was my sister's best friend. So I can't take full ownership because she was my sister's best friend, but I adore her. And she's in Massachusetts. Happy Valentine's Day to you and your beautiful guy.
Happy Valentine's Day.
And your grandchildren and your son. I know your son just got married. You have there's a lot of love in that Cairns family. They were the Irish to our Italian. Like my family was from Italy, and we had the accents, and their family had the brogues. So we used to go over there and just eat up that brogue. And she used to come over and just eat up that Italian accent. And my mother, this is so funny, was constantly sending them wine because my grandfathers made wine.
Oh,
and so much of it. Oh my God, so much of it. Well, the last name Savino means to know wine.
And there is an orchard, isn't there, in Boston? Isn't there Savino?
In Connecticut? But it does. I don't think it has anything to do with my family. I might be Savino Vineyards. But so my mother always used to say, "Bring some wine. Get that wine and bring it over to the Karens."
Instigator.
Yes, just bring it over. Brian Johnson, my buddy from high school, who I just adore. Hi guys, happy Valentine's Day. He's an amazing DJ and also works for the police department in Stoneham. He has joined us, and he and his beautiful grandson. I see them all the time. Okay, thank you. Painted from Memory, Brian. Okay, so that's the name of the album that Elvis Costello worked on with Burt Bacharach. It's called Painted from Memory. But there is a song on that album, Something God. It's the last. I can't think of the exact name, but it is the most haunting. Somebody look it up. It's on that Painted from Memory album, and it's going to drive me crazy. Anyway, Eugenia Mesa Dominguez. By the way, I'm at her house tonight. I am not at my apartment. She will not come down, but she does say "Hola" and Happy Valentine's because she says she's not dressed.
Oh, I want to hear what she has to say about Nikki Haley, but I'm sure that we'll save that for another day.
Yeah, that's all. But I want to talk about Rihanna and all this stuff. Mario, as they should. Yes, Mario, they should hang your picture back up there. Who doesn't love a spicy sausage? That's his line. Hey, spicy sausage. Who doesn't love a spice? So we have to make that commercial this weekend, Mario.
The family, what do they call it? Family coordinator has just given her official on the Savino Vineyards there.
Okay, thank you. Now, Annette Zito, can we just stop for a second? Annette Zito, I owe you an apology. It was her birthday 2 days ago, and I was so busy and crazy that I didn't realize it was her birthday. And I want to say happy birthday officially from What's the Story with Maria to Annette Zito, who we love from Kitchenette. By the way, Annette, would you do me a huge favor after the show? And would you post your video of all because she's going to be on our show. When is it, Annette? Is it next Tuesday? It's coming up. It's the Tuesday after the Oscars. Annette is going to come on and talk about all her menus. She creates these amazing menus, Oscar menus, and they're puns. They're like she takes the names of the movies and she creates these dishes around it. And you can get her book on Amazon, the Kitchenette book. Annette, I feel so bad that I missed your birthday. March 14th, Annette's coming on. But in the meantime, I know you created certain dishes. Yes. So please feel free to post it on my wall because I want to get people.
There's some really good ones. I heard she had a lot of little fairies helping her out, a little god fairies helping
I
her out.
love that. I love that. Barry Silver has joined us. Okay. Andy Limpus has joined us. Now, I just wanted to quickly talk before we bring on, maybe we should bring on John and Lori and then talk about Rihanna towards the end. I want to talk about the Super Bowl. There was so many amazing things. I'm a Patriots fan, of course, so my team wasn't in it, but it's okay. I was rooting secretly for the Eagles because I have so many friends. Yeah, so many friends in Philadelphia and Pennsylvania. So many, including Kurt Kelly, who owns the Stonewall Inn, who's such a great guy. And so many Philly friends. But I got to say that Patrick Mahomes is just an incredible quarterback, and I props to him. Now, the Rihanna thing, people were up in arms about on all levels. I'm just going to throw my 2 cents in here. The woman was flying from up in the air.
And there is no way in heck,
honey, no way that I would have ever been able to be up
and
there.
bouncing the way where they were bouncing and moving.
Right, but she's up there. I love, and the thing is, I kept looking at her. I said to Judy, is she pregnant? Like, no. And then I realized that she was. And of course they had to cover that. So everybody had to go with that. Plus the white, I love the white, jackets. I mean, it was hot for Arizona. I kept thinking like they must be sweating. But that's how they could bounce all that off and make it look like a video game. To me, it looked like a giant video game. I love her. I personally am a big fan of Rihanna's. I love her voice. I love that she's kind of laid back and does her thing. That's her style. Take it easy, man. People will go after people like crazy. Take it easy. If you can do what she does, then go for it. Go ahead, Leo. What are we going to say?
If you've never performed in front of a stadium, if you've never sang a song, if you've never made a movie or acted in a movie or been part of a movie or done something that you like to criticize about, shut the F up because you ain't never done it. I understand everybody has a right to their opinion, but whatever. That takes a lot of gumption, and to get up on that thing and go up and down.
Oh my God, up and down.
Sing the song. Stay in tune with a 5 to 6 second delay and stay in rhythm still because you're hearing it amongst people don't even know.
Yeah, I mean, and then people were like, well, how about when she checked her makeup? If you don't know, now you know. She has a makeup line called Fenty, which is highly successful. That's one of the reasons I wanted to get Senator Mesa on here to tell us all about that, because she's actually the one that educated me on it. And just all the amazing different shades of skin color that are included in Fenty, which is like a breakthrough for women's makeup and men's makeup too, if you want to wear it. But, there was a time when makeup was just a few different colors. And that's it. And if you were a person of color, you were kind of stuck with what they gave you. But she changed all that. Judy educated me this week on that. So I have a lot of respect for her. She also does a ton of empowerment, female empowerment and youth empowerment. Okay. Brian Johnson was. Yes. Thank you.
Thank you, Brian Johnson.
Brian Johnson, oh my God. Oh, by the way, this brings me, okay. So he said, song, main results, totally painted from memory, tears at the birthday party. Okay, here's a bunch. He just listed them. You can go back and look.
This is
but
God
Give Me Strength is one of the most haunting songs I've ever heard. And it is a Burt Bacharach, but nothing against Elvis Costello. God knows I love Elvis Costello, but do yourself a favor. YouTube it. There is a woman, I can't think of her name right now, that sings it that will blow your mind.
I have to,
what?
Oh, go on, finish. I'll say it after.
No, I was just going to say that it just goes to show that late in his life, because it only came out a few years ago, that late in his life, he was still writing incredible music.
Well, I just heard about Elvis Costello on my newest favorite radio program that I've been listening to every Wednesday night. And they talk a lot about Elvis Costello being down in the underground and being on the Lower East Side with some great music. I don't take notes, but I listen intently. Okay.
Well, this is a perfect segue to bring them on and talk about, and Annette said, isn't she a billionaire because of it? This is Rihanna. Yes, absolutely. So But and talk about female empowerment. And one of our guests, well, both of our guests are feminists. They're not both women, but they're both feminists, and I love that. And Lori does a female empowerment show, which is amazing. And Lori and Joe, well, we should just bring them on and just have them talk. Bring them on,
I think
Leo.
Lori's studying right now.
Oh my God. A much younger version of me on that. And Lori, you posted a picture of me that was about 25 years old. I look like a little girl.
I figured it was a couple of weeks ago, sweetie. You look beautiful.
You're so sweet. So, ladies and gentlemen, John Pietro and Lori Towers, our friends, Leo and I are huge fans of your show.
Oh,
I mean,
and we
I
have
think
yours.
Leo.
Yeah.
Oh, well, thank you. And thank you for all your support with my music and coming to all my places. But you have so much going on right now. I mean, you always have a lot going on, but you're still, give me the lineup. If we want to find Lori and John during the week, where do we find you?
WFMU, we're on from 10 to 12, as Leo just said. We're on Jazz Just After Dark on WMPR every other Friday. And all around town, and come to see you for those Blackberry Manhattans, darling.
Yes. That
Oh
was
my
danger.
God, black and blue.
The black and blue.
I make them the black and blue. Yes, well, sometimes I can just use blackberries, but they particularly love the black. So what I do is I muddle blackberries and blueberries, and they're bourbon. They love bourbon, so I turn them into Manhattans.
I know that taste. That's something that I used to.
Leo, right?
Maria used to make those for me when I would sit at the duplex, and they would be.
And Judy too. Judy loves them too. Judy loves the black, but the black and blue Manhattans, yeah. So now but John and Lori, you don't just have these night jobs, these amazing, wonderful things. You also work during the day, and you're constantly working, right?
Yeah. He works for Local 802, and he's changing.
Best union out there. Best union, if you ask me.
802 in the house.
Yes, thank you.
Yeah.
Musicians union.
And he's single-handedly changing the veneer of it. You know, it's a little more inclusive. There's more women joining, more women being platformed. So it's a cool thing.
Yeah.
I love it.
This guy here.
I love it. And 802 has a lot of, like, I noticed you, there was some kind of free presentation a few weeks ago you had a great jazz artist on.
Yeah, actually, every month we do that. It's something that I started about 4 months ago. It's 802 Jazz Nights. So for anybody who is local in New York, if you're off on a Wednesday, and I know that's not always easy for the night people like we are, but you can easily come on down. It's free. It's open to the public. You don't have to be a member of the union in order to get in. And
that's amazing.
It's a great time.
Yeah,
it really is.
And after the trio of whoever it is that performs, after the performance, there is a old school jam session.
Oh
and
my God.
people bring their exes with them. And, we actually have quite a few singers that come. But I know you work Wednesday nights.
I work Wednesday. But what time is this?
I'm sorry, Monday night. I just said Wednesday. It's always the second Monday. And I know you work Mondays. And that's, like I say, night people, we're taken up at night. I know, but
Mondays is a great night to have it because Broadway is dark.
Dark, yes.
That's exactly why we do.
Yeah.
And a lot of the musicians who show up, they're not always straight ahead jazz people. We have avant-garde people. Last night was Ronnie Barrage and Holographic Principle. And Ronnie is this monstrous drummer. Yeah. You may remember a band called Defunct.
Yeah, of course.
He was the original founding member, the drummer in that band. And he's played with almost every famous fusion artist there is out there. Jaco Pastorius and John McLaughlin. He's played with everybody. And this is his own band. And it is, wow. I mean, we have a big, big room at the local. It's called the Club Room. And it's the size of a nightclub. It has a stage, back line. So when people come in to jam after the headliner is done, and, it's a legitimate gig. The headliners get paid, of course, through a fund that the union has. And after that, people are welcome to come on up. It felt good. Yesterday was the first time. It was
great, yeah.
Yeah, first time I played drums in 2 years. So it felt so good to sit down behind the drums.
Yeah, I bet. Now, where is that located? That's on 44th Street?
48th, 322
48th.
48th, off of 8th Avenue, between 8th and 9th. And the next time we're doing it is going to be particularly special because it's for Women's History Month. This one was for Black History Month, and Ronnie does a lot of spoken word and poetry that he incorporated. This time around in March, that is, it'll be on Monday the 13th, unless you play hooky from work. I know you won't be able to make it, but we'll make you jealous anyway, Maria.
Well, what time does it start?
Well, it goes from 7 till 10 p.m. So it's unfortunately.
I might be able to just sneak into work a little bit late.
Oh, that would be
Maybe
great.
if I can go in early and set up early, and then maybe I'll head up to
That
you
would be
guys.
great.
And then
That would be so cool.
I would
And,
love that.
I mean,
oh my God.
Yeah,
Oh.
up the road if you can, though. It'd be great to have you join on the jam session. We've had singers come up, and the musicians who are there are all
Oh yeah.
just out of sight. I mean, these are great players. So
Oh my God.
we'll have, like, this particular month in March, the Women's History Month, Bertha Hope,
Oh.
this incredible jazz pianist who's been around since the 50s. She's
What?
Yeah.
she's a lady of
Wow.
a certain age,
Yeah.
but she plays her ass off.
Unreal.
And the last time
That's
she played
incredible.
a gig, I know, the last time she played a gig, she came to me, she goes, "Hey, look at that. They're probably all thinking that old bitch can really play." I was cracking up. She's in her 80s and
Yeah.
she can really
Yeah.
She would have to be, right?
Oh.
Can you imagine what she has seen and
Oh,
heard
yes.
in her lifetime?
Absolutely.
Yes, yes.
I mean, and how the world has changed. Wouldn't that be an interesting documentary?
Oh,
Just
yeah, I
from
have to
sitting
interview
behind
her.
the piano.
Yeah,
Have
I've
you
got to
interviewed?
interview her. I've got to.
Oh.
She's one of the people I have on my target. I write for the Union newspaper, the Union magazine, Allegro, and I
Yeah.
usually try to choose, some people that would be good targets for that. She's definitely on the list.
Can't miss.
Yeah.
Oh my God. You know why I want to introduce you to, because you'd all be amazing friends. My friend Sherry Miracle. She is the band leader of Diva Jazz Orchestra.
Oh yes, of
It's-
course.
Oh.
Yeah, it's an 18-piece all-girl band, big band.
Oh yeah.
But she also is part of a jazz trio called 3D Jazz.
I'm
And-
very familiar with them. Yes.
I mean,
I've never met
they're
her.
mind-blowing, right?
Yes.
They're
This is
mind-blowing.
the drummer, I believe, is I think the leader of the trio. I'm forgetting her name. Sherry plays piano, is it?
Sherry plays drums.
Oh, Sherry is the drummer. Okay, then that's
Is the
definitely-
drummer.
Okay,
Yeah,
she's
you would
been
know
with
her
Diva.
forever.
Yeah. Right.
As a matter of fact, I want to say 25-year anniversary.
At
I have to
least,
have them on.
yes.
At least, maybe more, maybe 30 years.
Yeah, we've gotten to know some of the people who played in that band over
Yeah,
the years.
yeah.
The trumpet player.
Oh, Jamie Dauber. Jamie
well,
Dauber is one of the trumpet players. She actually played on my album. She
Oh.
played on Amputated Skyline.
Oh, she's
She
the
is
trumpet
the
player. on
trumpet
that.
player.
Wonderful.
Oh.
I
Wonderful.
know. She wrote that line.
Ingrid. Yeah.
She
Yeah,
wrote that
yeah.
whole trumpet line.
That was beautiful.
Oh, that was nice.
That is really a
Oh,
beautiful thing.
it's
Yeah,
haunting.
Ingrid Jensen is the
Ingrid
trumpet
Jensen.
player that we got to meet and interview and things like that a while ago. But they're all out of sight. That is an incredible band. They can really
Wow,
play. And of
I
course,
might. Yeah, I might have to sneak out for that one.
Good. Do it.
well, if you can, it's an all-female trio that Bertha has, and we're not sure who the drummer is going to be because there was a question about is her regular drummer available, but her regular bass player is a lady named Kim Clark, who really plays her butt off. She plays an electric upright. It's really great. And
Well, speaking of which, Lori, you were a bass player.
Yes,
Right?
I am.
She is.
But
still.
you know what? This is the beauty of it. As all of this is going on, what I'm doing is I'm channeling my best Maria Gentili. I'm behind the bar, sweetheart. I'm
Really?
Yes, I am. Yes, I.
Wow.
You know, don't be impressed because it's just wine. I'm just pouring wine.
But
I
it's
love
wonderful.
that though.
It's nothing extravagant, but
It's wine and personality. That's what
And
bartending
that's
is.
what I do.
Yes.
80% of it is personality.
oh,
Yeah.
look at those great pictures.
Lori,
yeah.
oh yeah.
Wow.
Lori
I
I wish that she would sit in though when there's the jam session, but she just enjoys.
Oh, I
We have
love
a
it.
bar back there, and and Lori persons the bar. There's coffee, water, soda, and wine. It's all free,
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
Wow.
and so it's a great time.
It really
it's a
is.
party.
It's
It really
you would
is.
love it if you could
Oh.
sneak away. You would love it. It's really.
I might have to. I might have to see if I
Yeah.
can go set up early, sneak away, and then go back to work.
Yeah.
Now you both have a show coming up on February 28th.
Could I just interrupt? We
Yes.
didn't actually speak about your day work.
What do I do?
What don't you do?
No, I
I know.
basically, the PR firm is going wonderful, our little PR firm. And basically my lineup is pretty much older Hollywood and women that have been blocked from working via soaps, via whatever, just age discrimination, sexism, racism, you name it. Every ism that's been put in the category and put in front of women. That's what I do.
Amazing.
And I love it. And I love it.
I mean, we talked about that before we had you guys on. It's you are the female empowerment captain.
Thank you.
I mean, of
Thank
that
you.
ship, you really are. Like
Thank
you just lift women up. It's incredible, and
Thank
not
you.
just in a kind of like sort of way.
Thank
You just what's happening? It's incredible. What's happening, Leo? Not just in a kind of like.
Wow.
I don't know what happened. That was crazy.
That was
Maybe
intriguing.
Danielle can explain what happened. Danielle is our spiritual medium friend. Maybe she can
Something
explain
happened.
Something happened there. But so okay, tell us about your PR firm, because you see, you two do so much. She's raising the bar.
Yeah. Well, She's Raising the Bar I was on the air for about 10 years, and that's kind of what morphed into my direction of representing women who have gone out to pasture, not voluntarily, but,
Been
put out because of everything that Hollywood is, not too happy with. So She's Raising the Bar kind of was the impetus for that. The eccentric behavior part of the show on WFMU, women are going crazy because it's only women. It's the last Wednesday of every month. And I always say, ladies, it's that time of the month. And we get the CDs and everything. And I'm the only one that could say it. He would never dare say it. But this is the part of the program where we just feature all women artists. And it could be Ella Fitzgerald. It doesn't have to be necessarily New York based. Ella Fitzgerald. It could be Deborah Harry. People that aren't known. I mean, they're sending their CDs, their MP, and that show just goes over like a wildfire. It's a lot of fun, and it's a privilege. It really is a privilege.
Wow.
And John behaves during that show.
He is such a good man. He's
really
really
is
is.
a good man. But
He is.
I've also heard you put us men in our place, Laurie, on that show.
Not you, my Leo, but sometimes he does man speak, and I let him know. And then I get women writing in, "Why did he do that to you, baby?" It's like, well, I don't know.
No,
Just
he's
the
a
way he
sweetheart. John is a pussycat.
He is.
Yeah, but no, listen, you know what? Sometimes, I mean, it's nice to, John, you're what I love about you. I love many things about you, but what I love about you is like, you're a man's man, right? Like I would put you in that category. You're a man's man, but you are such a feminist.
Yeah,
the way my grandfather was a feminist, like he could take care of himself and do a million things, and he was in amazing shape, but he loved my grandmother, and he loved all of us women in the family.
Nice.
And always made us feel like, you know what, I'm here if you need me. But he was so proud of us. And
Isn't that nice?
Yeah, and you remind me a lot of like that kind of a guy, like,
Thank you.
and that's a good man. I put that in a good man.
When I'm not getting the shit kicked out of me.
But what a privilege it was for you to have a man of his generation be like that.
Yeah.
Yeah. And you want to know something? My grandmother was a Scorpio just like you, Laurie.
And what was his sign?
He was a Sag.
Oh, that's
he was he was a Scorpio too.
Oh,
November 22nd.
That could either work or not work. Ooh.
Well, she was the boss, but he was like so cool about it. But she like yelled at him all the time, but in the funniest ways. And she scared him all the time. She was always sneaking up on him. She was 4'11", and she was always sneaking up on him.
And they were married how many years?
God, like 60 maybe.
Don't you love that?
Yeah, like a crazy amount of years.
That is wonderful.
Yeah. They met when she was 11 and he was 14. I mean, in Italy, is that crazy? And she went after him and he said, You're like a child. Stay away from
Oh
me.
my God.
I'm going to get in trouble," and ran for the hills. And then years later, she stalked him. And she stalked him.
Story.
Isn't
That's
that
pretty
funny?
amazing.
She finally stalked him. She's like, and then she became friends with his sisters. Danielle would appreciate this because a lot of my relatives have had sessions with Danielle now. So she has seen a lot of the other side of my family. But so she became friends with his sisters to get to him. And then she was like 15 or something. And she said, "I'm old enough now. What's the story?" He was 19. And they finally got married when she was 16 and I think he was 20.
Wow.
Isn't that crazy? Yeah. And then they went through a lot together, but then they eventually moved to America after World War II.
Wow.
Yeah. But she
That's
was
the power of
feisty.
Scorpio. The power of
Scorpio. Oh yeah, she would not take no for an answer.
Oh wow. That's
Not
such a great
taking-
story.
Yeah. She was a tough guy. She was a tough guy. But she was always scaring him. She was always coming up behind him. We'd be like, "What are you doing? You're going to kill him." She was a practical joker, my grandma.
Well, we heard the story that you told earlier, where she was sort of decked out in drag, and then she snuck up on him or whatever.
She snuck up on him, so almost gave him a heart attack. I said, "What are you doing?" With like a banana in her pocket to pretend like it was a gun. She tried to stick him up.
Are you happy to see me, or is that a banana in your pocket?
Right. She thought that was the funniest thing in the world. We're like, "Nani, you're going to kill him. What are you
And
doing?"
she probably laughed and laughed, right?
For hours. He never lived it down. He never lived it down.
Oh,
she was funny as hell. Yeah.
That is
So
That's
now
gold. That's gold.
it is Valentine's Day.
Yes. Happy
Day.
Valentine's Day, darling.
Yeah. So that's one of the reasons I wanted to have you both on, because you have been a couple for now. How many years have you been together?
A few.
I'd say 40 years we're together.
Yeah.
No.
We started dating.
We started dating in
like-
high school.
Yeah, like
Really?
yeah,
Yes.
towards the end of high
Yeah.
school.
So I know him since I'm 17. So we're
What?
both 60. So yeah.
That's
And if you-
incredible.
I know, pretty amazing that you put up with this all these years. But all I could say is we've
Well,
been
John,
married.
you're kind of cute. You're kind of
He
cute.
is.
I
He's
will say.
adorable.
He's adorable. Yeah.
That only goes so far. Okay, so but we got married in 1988, so we were dating well before then, and so we've been married 34 years now.
Yeah.
So-
this year I think 34.
Yeah, so
Wow.
yeah, time flies when you're having fun.
And now you're not just married. You also work together quite a bit.
Yeah. And somebody asked me the other day, "What's the key? How do you guys?" And I said, "You know what? I like him a hell of a lot, and that's it. Of course, I love him, but if I have to pick hanging out with my friends or him, it's always him. We have a great
That's
time.
really cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We have a nice.
Well, you
time.
you also have a lot in common in that what you love, like your passions are the same.
Yeah.
And I see that, like when I hang out with both of you, like it's not just, oh, you're being supportive of what he does and he's it's that you actually are passionate about what you both do,
Yeah.
So it's just really, it's cool. It's really cool. You guys are cool as hell. I love it.
Oh, thank you.
I love it.
Yeah, we've had the chance to perform together
Yeah.
a lot. We have this band, the Red Microphone, and
Right.
if anybody's interested, just by the name alone, anybody who's on Spotify or Apple Music, it's available. But the music is a combination of, I don't know, lately I've been calling it punk jazz, because
I noticed,
it's jazz with a snarl, but it's not straight ahead jazz in any which way. And the music is used to sort of work through and around my poetry and spoken word in general. So it's a very unique kind of thing. So we play in that ensemble together. And then sometimes we just do a duet, because it's kind of hard to pull everybody out of their own life to a small little gathering. But so we, and you had mentioned before about the event we have coming up. And there you go.
Yeah,
It
please.
is Leo.
And
on the
thank you,
job.
Leo.
Leo is
So that-
incredible.
Oh my God.
All right, so tell us about this.
Yeah, this event. Look, I've had my book out a while, and
Hold it up, baby.
my book has been out for a while, and our band's recent CD has been out for a while, and we never really had a chance to do any kind of, anything to push it. We just, we do a couple of little gigs here or there. And Lori said it's a combination of a book and an album release, and we got to go to a classy place. My idea of a classy place is like the back room at some little bookstore with used books, and you could smell the pot filtering in through the window. That's my idea of it. She said, no, we've got to go to a good classy place for this. So Lori worked it out with the owners of Pangea.
Great club.
It's a great place.
Pangea is what the Times has called the new Max's. So it's real cool. And we only
I love that
after the fact.
Yeah.
There you go. There's Pangea.
That's it.
It's such a cool place.
It really is, right?
Cabaret, there's live music. The Times it's cabaret with recordings.
Yeah.
There's comedy, drag shows, all kinds of stuff happening in there. It's a really cool place. It's all I can say.
Yeah, and they also have food. From what I hear, they have delicious food.
Yes.
And a damn good bar.
Yeah, very good bar. Nice food.
Maybe not as good a bartender. Maybe
can't be.
Well, listen, we all bring our style. We all bring our little spin to things. But so this is February 28th. What time is your show?
6 to 8:30.
Oh, that's really a good time.
Yeah, 6 to 8:30.
Yeah,
2 weeks from tonight. Oh, look at the food!
That is nice, right? Yeah, they have a nice menu.
Oh yeah, the place is a really great place. We were there not long ago for the birthday party.
Wendy Stewart's birthday. What Wendy?
Yeah.
And that birthday party was like, wow, it was filled with all these fashionistas and singers and models and everything, actors.
That was a great night.
Yeah, it was terrific. So, it was, and that's really where we had a chance to see the place. We'd been there before, but like to really hang out there for hours and see it.
Yeah.
Wow. It's really.
John, you say spoken word. You're a beautiful poet. I love your stuff. I've heard a lot of it that you've read. It's beautiful. And now the book is available where, if we want to get the book?
Sure. Yeah. The book, unfortunately, it's not available in that many bookstores. It's available in a couple. And she's like the lovely Carol Merrill here.
I know. I love that. So,
but it is available online. Probably the easiest way is barnesandnoble.com. Don't go to Amazon, please.
Okay, you got it. barnesandnoble.com.
Yeah, Barnes and Noble is one, and my publisher is called the Uncollected Press, and you could also go to their website and order it directly, or come on Tuesday the 28th. And this is a mini version. We just get a shot of this in there. This is a different poster than that one you're showing. What? Let me see how I do this. Okay.
Yeah, there it is.
And you see it says wanted for thought crimes. I can't fix this.
So clever.
And general agitation.
Oh, I love it. I love it.
And there's a picture of the band there, the whole band. And it's a septet, so a 7-piece band, including Matt Dolan, who I know.
Oh my God! I'm a huge fan of Max.
Wait! I didn't wear my shirt tonight. Hang on.
Oh yes, she was supposed to wear her Matt Golahan T-shirt, and there it is.
Mackie,
oh my God,
baby.
Mackie's back.
Good old Mackie's back.
I love it. I actually bought 2 Mac shirts because when I worked, they're beautiful. When I work, they kind of get shredded behind the bar, so I want one and then I bought one for Elliot, who's my jazz pianist friend.
Oh.
Let me take a moment to read this because this is my friend Ed we've been friends for more than 40 years. Ed says, totally get that you guys shared about working together. Jay and I celebrate our 30th anniversary today. We've worked together every day for the 28th of those years and wouldn't have it any other way.
Salute. Very good.
That's amazing. But I got to tell you, not everybody can do that. So it's part of why I wanted to have you on the show.
Thank you.
Because it is Valentine's Day, and that's a really big deal. But you really support each other in so many ways. Like but Lori, are you going to be playing on that show as a bass player as well?
Oh, baby doll. Yes, I will be there.
Yes.
And when I'm not playing bass, I will be orchestrating everything. But listen to the best part of this. We have 4 different poets coming down. Guest poets coming down, reading his work. And some we're going to back up, some we aren't. But one of the DJs on FMU has a show in London. And she has just got this great voice, and I'm such a fan of her show. So I reached out to her. I said, how would you like to read one of John's pieces? And we'll maybe do like a little live stream. We'll sync up the time. And she was like, oh my God. Oh. And she's doing it.
So DJ Georgie Girl
on WFMU will be reading one of his pieces too. So he's going to get a nice little European pull there.
Yeah, we should clarify.
Amazing.
She's going to open the show on the 28th. And so it's basically going to start with this disembodied voice reading.
But such a sexy voice, and with that accent.
Forget it.
I love accents anyway. I'm a big fan of accents.
I'm keeping my mouth shut that night.
So she'll open it basically with a disembodied voice. And then from there, the band is going to come out. And the book, I should clarify, is called A Bleeding in Black Leather.
Beautiful.
The lovely Carol Merrill again. It's very New York-centric. Every poem in there some of the poems are more personal, but then again, I'm a lifelong New Yorker, so I guess it's appropriate. But it's very downtown. It's very kind of East Village oriented, and Brooklyn, where we live. And so there's a lot of stuff like that. And so the band will come on stage right after the tape or stream of Georgie Girl, and we're going to play the opening, I should say, the title track, A Bleeding in Black Leather. And it's a long poem. On the album, it's separated into 3 segments with other things in between. If anybody's interested in that album, again, the band is the Red Microphone. It's A Bleeding in Black Leather is the album, and it's on ESP disc. And that is a label that's been around since the early 60s. And that label actually broke people like Albert Eiler and had made them known to the universe. And then some of the people that recorded on it included the Fugs. If you recall that band, they were with the poets Tuli Kupferberg and Ed Sanders fronting it. Really, really radical guys. And also Sun Ra recorded an album, and Ornette Coleman recorded an album this. And Charles Manson. Nobody would release,
who actually had a very nice voice.
Yeah, nobody would release an album, but they did.
I saw a documentary. This was so strange, right? I saw a documentary on that era. He was a great guitar player, and had a great voice, and he was a little bit obsessed with some of these rockers. And there was actually one of the guitar players from the Beach Boys actually was kind of enamored of him and his group of guys that he hung out with, not realizing what the future would hold, but kind of let them stay at his house in California. How crazy is this? This is before any of it went south.
Sure.
But thinking, wow, this guy's really might have something here. Isn't that crazy how a genius mind can go from that to that?
And when does it happen? Yeah. When does it happen?
You always say, Hitler,
when he was rejected from art school. I mean, that was probably the final. Yeah. You always wonder what happened. I mean, look, let's be serious. You have to be on a slippery slope to start with for something to push you over the edge. But if you look at early press pictures of Manson, he did not have that look in his eyes. He was actually a good-looking guy, very relaxed, and a very easy smile. And that just evaporated.
And what threw it off was the swastika on the forehead.
Well, that never helps. But it's just you just wonder my God.
Yeah, it's just. I mean, that is a study in any of that stuff. That's psychological. When does a mind snap in the wrong direction? Yeah. But a lot of these geniuses
in about 5 minutes. Oh, what? Sorry.
Oh, listen. Okay, let's take a break. Let's take a break for a minute, and everybody get a nice glass of water. Tree Sequoia has joined us. Carlos Hernandez has joined us. Carlos, a lovely Valentine's Day to you and your beautiful wife. Carlos was one of my, when I was teaching in Brooklyn, my first teaching job. He was our youth staff. So junior staff. That's what he was. He was an amazing guy, filmmaker. Carlos Hernandez, and Lynn Portis is now watching.
Genius.
Lynn genius.
Thank you, Lynn Porter's genius. We love Lynn. By the way, I have to throw this out there. Lynn Portis and I are doing a show in Boston for my Boston people. Oh, wait, we got to throw this up.
No, go on.
What is that?
I was going to say in May 18th, put this in your books, Boston people, at Club Cafe on Columbus Avenue in Boston in South End. Lynn Portis and I, it's a Thursday night. We are doing a show, a cabaret show there. So I'm going to be sending out a bunch of notices to my Boston people. But anyway, Leo, do you have something to show us? It is also an anniversary for you.
Well, yeah, kind of. But Dee, since you went out to dinner and you left us all hanging.
I went out to dinner with Judy, with my honey, and I didn't cook. I can tell you what we had, but that's not fun. So Leo cooked instead.
So I had some penne pasta.
All right.
And some meatballs for our section. What is the section called, Maria?
Our food section of our show is called Go Ahead. Keep eating. Yeah.
So just a couple of meatballs in there.
Good.
Some penne pasta.
Yeah.
And
I will tell you, Leo can cook.
And some Parmesan cheese. Cook. So there's my Valentine's joke: penne and meatballs. And I get a cookie.
Yes, you deserve a cookie after that. Thank you for running that part of the show. Leo is actually an amazing cook. Leo's managed many a restaurant and bar, and Leo's an amazing cook.
Well,
he cooks on when we were on the show.
Yeah, on the Wednesday.
Yeah. Last week, I think it was hot wings you made.
Yeah, it was hot wings.
Right.
Yeah.
I heard about that. Jill Anderson, my sweet friend from out in Morristown, well, she's in Chatham, I believe, says happy Valentine's Day, my friends. Jill, I miss you very, very much. How about love Leo's tamales, she said.
That's right.
Oh.
Leo
I would bring some around to the bar when Maria was working during holiday season, and Jill happened to be there that one night, Jill and Maria.
Yep.
Maria
yes.
Figliamini.
Figliamini, right. Figliamini. Yeah, that's a hard name to say. It's Italian. Figliamini. It's got a lot of little G's in it. If you got a G, an L, and an I in there, you're going to go. It's like a Y sound. It's crazy. But now, may I tell the quick story about your tamales? Leo sent me a box of tamales once for Christmas, and I never got them. And they just never came. We suspect that the mailman may have known what was in there and was like,
that's wrong.
Listen, we'll just say the box got lost.
There's a compliment in there somewhere.
So
yeah.
I had something for John and Lori, something that took place in the Lower East Side downtown when I was in New York. And tonight is the 9-year anniversary of the opening of my show, Broken Moments, a bar musical, which took place at Tammany Hall on Orchard Street when it was open, and the downstairs bar. And it was under the concept that you would open up, we would do it as a bar. So we served drinks through the whole performance and performed at the same time. We were in this hour-and-a-half show that had music and stuff. And so it being Valentine's Day, and I like to feature the song, I thought I'd share my downtown experience with my downtown underground friends. And Maria, since it was 9 years ago, the song is All About Love, and it's the cast recording. And everyone at home listening can hear this as well because it's the lyrics from the end of the song.
And I've seen other things. Hate surrounds us, yes, I know her. I've been down that road before. But if you look in my eyes, then I'll hold you tight. Look deep inside and you'll know it's all about love. It's all about love. It's all about love. It's all about love. Little children with smiles on their face.
There's Liz Price Davies.
Wipe away that child's frown. You can feel it inside. There's no place to hide. Just hold that child and you'll know it's all about love. It's all about love.
Nice.
Wow, that's beautiful,
Very
Leo.
Thanks.
Okay.
Happy
So-
Valentine's Day. Happy anniversary.
Yeah,
It's
it
all
reminded me
about
of-
love, baby.
Yeah,
All
it reminded
about
me of
love.
something from Rent. It had that,
Yes.
that vibe to it.
Yes.
Thanks.
Yeah, Jill Anderson said the same thing. It
Oh,
does
yeah?
have that vibe. It does have that vibe.
Very much.
Which reminds me,
John. Oh, sorry.
no, I was going to say, did you ever see Tick Tick Boom? The
I did.
movie.
I did. It was really,
It
really,
has
really
that
good.
feel to it. It was about the man that wrote Jonathan Larson, who wrote Rent. It was his life story while he was writing Rent. And it's called Tick Tick Boom. Really cool.
Mm.
John, you're a big fan of my favorite playwright, Bertolt Brecht.
Oh yeah.
And this play was my kind of reverse Brechtian attempt, because Brecht would put music in his plays in order to distract the audience from the story. Pull out of it. You're making a commentary on this story. And that's what he would do. In a bar, though, music is what's more calming for people. Music is what, and the drama, when people start arguing, is the part that brings people out of their spell. And so I created the drama around that so people would be uncomfortable, but the music was very raw, very, very, had to be very bar, very,
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah.
It's a great
Loved
concept.
it.
Thank you for sharing.
Loved
that.
it.
Really, and that
Yeah.
adds to the downtown authenticity, you
Yeah.
know, of it, which is really great.
Yeah. Yeah.
Well,
Yeah.
I've
that's
been
that
wanting to tell you that
thing.
story for 4 weeks, John.
Oh.
That's very cool.
Yeah, that's it.
Well, Lynn too.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
wish we could figure out how to do that.
Yeah.
But we
Even
will.
Lynn said yes, Rent.
Yes.
Yeah,
right. Yes,
so
right.
many great things. And it's just a feel of that era, on the Lower East Side. There was just a feel of, like, when I first moved here in 1990, but you guys were there before that. Like, if you got married in 88, but I moved here in 90, but the Lower East Side had this, it was almost spooky that you knew there were musical ghosts there, and these musical ghosts were like, if you just let yourself feel it, you could be channeled by it. It was incredible. It was really, there's so many amazing stories down there in the village. It's just,
I used to
one of
walk
my,
around Tin Pan Alley just to get inspired sometimes in songwriting, just to find the streets and imagine the piano playing and the, what was it, the 1800, late 1800s, early 1900s.
1890s, sure. But even if you take it later, the Brill Building.
Yeah.
you just beat me to it.
Right?
Yep.
You were going to say that? Okay.
The Brill Building, and how
That's
they would
incredible.
start on the top floor, the songwriters that would pitch songs like Neil Sedaka,
Oh, God.
Carole King.
Carole
They would,
King.
Yeah. Cynthia Weil. I mean,
Yeah,
please.
yeah.
Just.
they would start at the top. They would play for different publishers, and they could go down. It was easier to go down than up. So that's how they would do it, and hope that
Crazy.
something would catch.
Yeah, New York is just I mean, LA as well. I don't mean to put down any other city, but as
It was here.
we're so New York centric. Sorry, but
I was born and raised in Los Angeles, and you can go walking down the streets and have a sense of history, but if it's not cowboys and Indians, how historical really is it? But in New York, you get a sense of it. It's in the energy is in the streets. It's
Oh yeah.
It's like when you work in a theater, they put all that energy into it, and all those people have gone through New York. It's the world's biggest theater.
Right. Absolutely.
yeah,
And,
I gotta say yes.
Danielle just said we should make a musical ghost tour someday. That's
Oh.
a great
That
idea.
is a good idea.
Cool.
That's actually, speaking of ghost tour, there's actually, they usually do it around Halloween, but it was fascinating. I went on it. It's just, if you just look up New York ghost tours, and they start at Washington Square Park, and it's a walking tour and go all around different parts of the village to haunted locations. But would they end at Sid and Nancy's apartment?
Oh,
Which
wow.
I believe, which I
You
believe
mean
was
at
on
Chelsea. At the Chelsea
well,
Hotel?
the last place that they lived
It was Chelsea
was
Hotel, wasn't it?
on they lived there for a while, but the last place they lived was on Bank Street.
Oh wow.
in the West.
Yeah,
Yeah.
in the West. And there's actually still a sign in the window that the person that lives there now wrote, "Yeah, you have the right address" or something.
Did
I could see
So
that.
it's really
Wow.
cool. Yeah.
We do try
Okay.
we
Go ahead.
did try to capture some of that, for in our show, and I guess we didn't even mention the name of it in this, but Beneath the Underground on WFMU's Sheena's Jungle Room stream.
I love it. I love, and you know what I do with your shows, because I can't always listen live because I'm working, but I go back and listen to them and replay, and they're amazing. And my favorite thing about both your shows is how much information. It's not just the music, but how it's like a lesson. It's a music lesson and a history lesson, and just so informative.
Yeah, Lori still calls me a gyakyaron.
Well, anyway. One time we read the comments, and Leo probably even saw this. Some guy from Minnesota said,
"Yeah,
is this a show where there's 2 hours of talking and just 5 minutes of music?" It's like, okay,
what?
Yeah.
Even though we played just before that, 20
that's okay.
minutes
You know
straight
what?
of
And that's the
music.
beauty of go to someplace else. Enjoy. If you want to hear music, that's okay.
See, that's what I love. I love the word chiacchierone. If anybody doesn't know what that means, it's a great Italian word. My mother used to call me that, chiacchierone. Chiacchierone means it's like a chatty Cathy. A chiacchierone is someone that can really, really gab.
When
the
you
gift
say
of
you
gab.
gotta do this.
Gotta go.
You gotta
Chiacchierone. Right. Oh my God. Okay, so we've come to the end of our show,
Yes,
but
we did.
Let's reiterate. John and Lori behind the red microphone are going to be at Pangea on Tuesday, February 28th, 2 weeks from tonight. They're at 6. Is it 6 to 8:30? You said
8:30. Thank you, love. Yes,
6 to 8:30. So please go and see them. And Pangea, the address is, I believe it's on.
It's
178
Second Avenue, near 11th Street. Yes.
Yeah, near 11th Street. That's a beautiful area. I love that area. There's a lot of good restaurants down there as well.
Yeah.
And Veneros is on 11th. 11th
right.
is right around the corner. So go and get a cannoli at Veneros if you're down there.
Yeah.
So and you have Sheena's Jungle Room on Wednesdays, right?
Beneath the Underground, yes.
Right.
And then you every other Friday is Jazz Just After Dark.
Yes.
And are there websites that that we can follow you both on?
Absolutely. I mean, you could follow, if you like us on Facebook, all the links from the shows, the archives, everything else. I usually do a repost the next day. You could find it there. Lori Towers, John Pietero.
Yeah. And we should also clarify that on Facebook and on Instagram, we have profiles Beneath the Underground Radio.
Yes.
If anybody wants to check it out. And, when we put out the link and we put out, the song, the playlist and everything else.
And if you go into today's headings on YouTube, Facebook, wherever we're at, all those websites are actually listed. So you can, after the show, click on them, including the playlist one. So you can go back and listen to a couple of episodes.
So much. It's just, I love it. I learned something. I learned so much every time I listen. So thank you both for coming on. Happy Valentine's Day.
And you both.
Can I put in, wait, is it the end of the month yet? No, it's not. So can I put in a request for tomorrow's playlist?
Sure.
Jill Crozen's F Off is one of my favorite songs.
Yes. And she cooks with us as well. Hi,
and
Jill.
She cooks, and it's my Valentine, this year. I've been single for a while, and I'm an independent woman. So, Jill Crozen, when she puts that song, she's like, I like that song. It's my Valentine's theme this year.
Attitude.
We did play that once, and she actually wrote in and said she never had it released when her parents were alive.
Yeah.
Because she didn't want them to hear it. So she said, no, they're both gone a long time and I can do it.
Isn't that interesting? I love that. I love Well, you'll both have to come back on because we could talk for hours about so many amazing things that you do. And I also love your company. So selfishly, I like hanging out with
both of you.
Yes.
The treat.
And Leo is amazing. How much do we love Leo Rodriguez? He is amazing.
A lot.
Shout out to Lynn Porter's Genius. Our friend Danielle from D's Enlightened Edits. Please go and check out Danielle's website. I can't say enough about it. And we've been talking a lot about ghosts and all that stuff. But seriously, if you want to have your mind blown, go and check out Danielle on her website, which is DAM. Yes, thank you. Damsel Designs. I personally got the quantum session. I don't even know how to explain what
Mhm.
happened. And
Mhm.
a lot of my friends and relatives have gotten sessions too. So please go check. There's so many
Sure.
great people. Just go check all our great stuff out. We love and appreciate you. A shout out to my sweetheart, Eudania Mesa. She's upstairs. She was being shy tonight. But we did have a beautiful dinner and a nice day together. So happy Valentine's Day, lovebirds. And to all the beautiful people out there, Valentine's Day is not just about lovers. It is
Right.
about friends, and it's about loving each other and spreading the joy in the world.
Exactly.
And what better way to do that than music and art? So, John, Lori, thank you. Leo, I love you. And
Great night.
Rizzo says hello as well. So my dog.
Oh, Rizzo.
Wonderful.
And thank you,
Bye.
everybody. We
Thank you,
appreciate you.
Thank you.
Bye. See you soon.
Take good care.
Valentine's Day.
Peace.
And there we go.